Hi friends, welcome back to Financial Hacker. Last year, two specialty chemical companies IPOs were launched, Rosari Biotech Limited and Chemcol Limited, and they gave huge listing gains to the subscribers. Recently, we have also witnessed another specialty chemical company named Anupam Rasayan Limited, whose shares are traded at 45% premium in the grey market ahead of the IPO. This week, another IPO from specialty chemical manufacturer is going to hit the market in the form of Lakshmi Organic Industries Limited. Will this company also give the same level of listing gains? Should you subscribe? And how well this company fits in this highly competitive industry? To answer all these questions, let's jump into company details, product range, promoters, financials and SWOT analysis. This is CA Kevin Mahesh and let's quickly jump into the details. Lakshmi Organic Industries Limited was incorporated on May 1989. The company is leading manufacturer of acetyl intermediates and specialty intermediates with almost 3 decades of experience in large-scale manufacturing of chemicals. Lakshmi Organic is largest manufacturer of ethyl acetate in India with a market share of approximately 30% of the Indian ethyl acetate market. Further, the company is going to acquire Yellowstone Chemicals Private Limited, which will enhance their market share in the ethyl acetate market. And company's products are currently divided into two broad categories, namely the acetyl intermediates and the specialty intermediates. The acetyl intermediates include ethyl acetate, acetaldehyde, fuel ethanol and other prosperity solvents, while the specialty intermediates comprises of ketene, diketene derivatives namely ester acetic, acetic anhydride and other chemicals. Company has commenced manufacturing the specialty intermediates in 2010 by acquiring Clarence Diketene business. Lakshmi Organic is the only manufacturer in India of diketene derivatives with a market share of approximately 55% in terms of revenue in fiscal 2020. Also, the company has diversified products portfolio in various high growth industries including pharma, agrochemicals, paints, printing, packaging, dyes and pigments. The company has diversified customer base in India and abroad. They supply their products to customers in over 30 countries including China, Netherlands, Russia, Singapore, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom and United States of America. Company has dedicated manufacturing facilities for each AI and SA business segments with a combined installed capacity of 2,39,365 metric tons per annum in Mahad, Maharashtra. They have DSIR approved 2 R&D facilities with state-of-art infrastructure for synthesis of advanced intermediates. It is also proposing to set up a new manufacturing facility at Lote Parashram, Maharashtra to manufacture fluoro specialty chemicals. Ravi Goenka and Yellowstone Trust are the promoters of the company. The ultimate beneficiaries of the Yellowstone Trust are Ravi Goenka and his brother Rajiv Goenka, their spouses and lineal descendants. They together hold 19 crores 99 lakhs 38,282 shares comprising 83% of the issued capital of the company. You can see the average cost of acquisition of shares by them over here. And the company has undertaken a pre-IPO placement of 1 crore 55 lakh 3,875 equity shares at a price of 129 per share, aggregating to 200 crores. You can see the allotment of the shares over here. Company's 600 crore IPO will open for subscription on March 15, 2021 and will close on 17 March 2021. The face value of the equity share is Rs 2 and the issue includes fresh issue of equity shares aggregating 300 crores and offer for sale of Rs 300 crores. The primary object of the issue is to use the net proceeds for financing its wholly owned subsidiary Yellowstone Fine Chemicals Private Limited in relation to setting up the proposed manufacturing facility for fluoro specialty chemicals and its working capital requirements, and also for repaying the borrowings of the company and its wholly owned subsidiary Viva Life Sciences Private Limited, and to meet general corporate purpose and also to finance the business working capital. The company has fixed price band at Rs 129 to 130 per share. Investors can bid a minimum of 115 equity shares and in multiple thereafter, translating to a minimum investment of Rs 14,950. A retail investor can apply for up to 13 lots, that is 1,495 shares with an investment of 1,94,350. The company has set the subscription limit as not more than 50% of the net issue for QIBs, a minimum of 15 and 35% for non-institutional investors and retail investors respectively. The allotment will take place on 22nd March and the reference to those who fail to get the allotments will begin on 23rd March 2021, while the credit of the shares into the demat account of the lucky bidders will take place on 24th March 2021. Post allotment, shares will be listed on both Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange tentatively on 25th March 2021. Post issue, promoters of the company along with their group will hold 72.92% of the equity share capital of the company. This issue is jointly lead managed by Axis Capital Limited and DAM Capital Advisors Limited. Link Intime India Private Limited is the registrar to the issue. On the financial performance front, company has posted a net profit of 757, 724 and 702 millions and turnover of 13,930, 15,685 and 15,341 millions for 2018, 2019 and 20 years respectively. Here if you observe the top and bottom line numbers of 2019 and 20 are a bit flattish. There is no growth and instead there is a negative growth in profits. So what might be the reason for this negative growth? Ravi Goenka in an interview clarified that negative growth in profit for 2019 is due to infusion of high fixed cost for commissioning of their own hydroelectric power project in 2018 at Erdogan with a capacity of 3 million watts, which is in turn increases the depreciation amount, and also mentioned that probably they are the one among the few companies in India having their own captive power project which supplies green power to the manufacturing facilities. And he also said that the company has unfortunately affected by huge floods in the month of August 2019, which made them to shut down the operations for 30 days and another 10 to 15 days in the month of March due to COVID related issues are the main reasons for negative growth of turnover in 2020. And if you look at the first 6 months of the turnover for the current financial year, the company has earned a net profit of 455 millions on a total turnover of 8,143 millions. The number seems to be robust as they are back into the track. I already mentioned that they are planned to set up a manufacturing facility for fluoro specialty chemicals. Goenka mentioned that unlike AI segment, this fluoro specialty chemical will give huge margins to the company. And for the last 3 fiscals, the company has posted an average EPS of rupees 2.93 and an average return on net worth of 17%. We can see over here that the current earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization margin are around 10%. Ravi Goenka added that going forward, they will able to maintain the same at 15% because of this healthy basket mix. Listed peers for this company are Aarti Industries Limited, Atul Limited, Navin Fluorine Limited, Rossari Biotech Limited and SRF Limited. EPS of the company is 2.86 per share, whereas EPS of the Atul Limited is 224.69 per share. And return on net worth for this company is 16.45% and return on net worth for Navin Fluorine Limited is 28.42%. Whereas net asset value per share of this company is 18.97 and it is 1063.63 for Navin Fluorine Limited. The price to earnings ratio of Aarti, Atul, Navin Fluorine and SRF Limited companies are 24.92, 17.75, 14.68 and 15.70 respectively. At rupees 130, that is the upper price band limit of the issue, the annualized PE of the company based on 6 months EPS will be 32.18 as against industry's composite PE of 21.70. From this, we can say that the issue is averagely priced based on the comparison with the listed peers. Company is a specialty chemical manufacturer, operates in acetyl and specialty intermediates. The global chemicals market is valued at $4,738 billion and India accounts for approximately 3.5% of the market share. Reports forecast that the global chemical industry will have a compounded annual growth rate of 6.2% during the next 5 years. With a high population base and majority of countries being underdeveloped or developing nations in Asia Pacific, there is a high rate of construction activities resulting in higher demand for construction chemicals and paints and coating additives, which is an added advantage to this company. The specialty chemical industry forms approximately 47% of the domestic chemical market, which is expected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate of around 11 to 12% over the next 5 years. You can see over here the Indian specialty chemical markets industry and application thereof. Around 38% is used by agrochemicals and fertilizer industry, 19% by pharma and around 10% by dyes and pigments etc. China's specialty chemicals market has seen a downturn in recent years due to various factors like recent environment norms introduced by the Chinese government and China plus one offshore strategy, etc. This provides an ample replaceable export market for India to capitalize on and wave a strong growth strategy for chemicals. This is also an added advantage to the company. You can see the growth trend over here. India has a compounded annual growth rate of 13%, while China's exports are growing at a rate of 7%. And also you can see the growth rate of various products markets over here. Going forward, if the company is able to capture the growing demand for the products, definitely it will have a huge growth in their revenue from operations. Leading manufacturer of retail estates with a significant market share. I already mentioned that company accounts approximately 30% of the Indian ethyl estate market. Lakshmi Organic has been the largest exporter of ethyl estates from India, amounting slightly less than 50% of the total exports. Further, many multinational players are investing in India for manufacturing their flexible packaging, paints and coatings, adhesives and sealants, essentially catering to foreign destinations through exports. According to the Frost report, active players in the acetyl intermediate space like Lakshmi Organic will be at a greater advantage in the domestic market. Only Indian manufacturer of decathlon derivatives with a significant market share and one of the largest portfolios of decathlon products. Company holds approximately 55% of the Indian decathlon derivatives market in terms of revenue in fiscal 2020. The increasing demand in pharmaceutical and agrochemicals from developing economies like India is likely to increase the consumption of decathlon derivatives, where Lakshmi Organic has a very strong presence which currently offers more than 34 products in this segment. Diversified customer base across industries. Company's products find application in a number of high growth industries including pharmaceuticals, agrochemicals, dyes, pigments, inks, coatings, paintings, printings and packaging, flavors and fragrance, adhesives and other industrial applications. If you see the breakup of the revenue, we can say that the revenue stream are diversified and not concentrated in one particular segment, which will definitely be an added advantage to the company. Strategically located manufacturing facilities. The company has currently two strategically located manufacturing facilities for acetyl intermediates and specialty intermediates, which are located in Maharashtra in close proximity to several ports including the Jawaharlal Nehru Port, JSW Port and Mumbai Port, which ensures that they have ready access to port facilities and will easily import their raw materials and export their products. This provides cost and logistical advantage to the company. Experienced promoters and a strong management team. The company is led by experienced promoters and managers, some of whom have significant experience in the chemical industry. Ravi Goenka, Rajiv Goenka and Satyesh Nabar has approximately 3 decades of experience in chemicals industry. And Ravi Goenka is presently the President of the Executive Committee of the Indian Chemical Council for the period 2020 to 2022. Capacity utilization and operating efficiencies. Company is in the process of expanding their manufacturing capabilities for the acetyl intermediates by acquiring AHPL through its wholly owned subsidiary Yellowstone Company Private Limited. Such additional capacity will be able to capitalize the growth opportunities in the acetyl intermediates industry. The company is in process of increasing the installed capacity at their SA manufacturing facility from 78,045 metric tons per annum to 82,525 metric tons per annum. In-house R&D team to foster product innovation. The company has 2 DSIR recognized research and development facilities with a dedicated team of research scientists comprising 49 employees, and they had more than 34 products in specialty intermediates products as on September 2020. Also, the company has developed 5 different chemistry platforms on a commercial scale, establishing the fluoro specialty chemical business. The company is proposed to set up a facility in Lothe Parsuram, Maharashtra for manufacturing fluoro specialty chemicals, which has a compounded annual growth rate of 11.6% in the coming 5 years. For this, the company has acquired assets including plant and machinery, design and operating paperwork, reach registrations and patents of Methane in 2019, who is a manufacturer of organic fluoro specialties and electrochemical fluorination. Company proposed to commence the operations by 4th quarter of fiscal 2022. This will definitely improve the top and bottom line numbers of the company. The government has taken initiative to promote and facilitate Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is Self-Reliance India, in the chemicals and petrochemical sector. which gives additional added advantage to the company. Impact of COVID-19. The pandemic outbreak has caused an economic downturn on a global scale. Companies' customers are typically engaged in various industries including agrochemicals, personal care, pharmaceuticals, specialty pigments, dyes and polymer additives. It is difficult for the company to predict the impact that COVID-19 will have on them. Manufacturing facilities are located in one geographical area. All the manufacturing facilities including captive power plant of the company are located in Maharashtra within a distance of less than 2 kilometers of each other. And any significant changes in the policies of the state or local government or the government of India could require the company to incur significant capital expenditure and change their business strategy. Large portion of raw materials from a few key suppliers. Top 10 suppliers represents around 80% of the total purchases made by the company in 2020. Any disruption of supply of raw materials from such suppliers could adversely impact the company's operations and business if they are unable to replace such suppliers in a timely manner. Outstanding legal proceedings. There are certain outstanding civil, criminal and tax proceedings against the company and directors. Unable to defend the same will lead to payment of around 27 crores, which will have an adverse effect on the business prospects, financial condition, reputation of the company. Underutilization of manufacturing capacities. You can see here the various installed capacities and their utilization in various years. I have highlighted the cases of underutilization of capacities. If company is unable to ensure optimum utilization of their manufacturing capacities, including the manufacturing capacities of proposed facility and the YCPL facility, then the company cannot enjoy the benefits of economies of scale, which could have an adverse effect on their business and results of the operations. Concentration of revenues. Almost 50 to 60% of the company's total revenue is received from acetyl intermediates. If acetyl intermediates do not continue to perform as expected, or if competitors are able to achieve greater market acceptance, then the company's business, results of the operations and financial condition may be adversely impacted. Incurred significant indebtedness. As of Jan 2021, the company has outstanding debt amounting to 2,447 millions. Unable to comply with the repayment and other convenience in their financing agreements could adversely affect the business, financial condition, cash flows and credit rating of the company. Loss-making subsidiaries. Here I have highlighted some of the loss-making subsidiaries, and if they continue to incur such losses, it could adversely impact the loans, advances, guarantees given by the company to and on behalf of their subsidiaries, and it also might adversely affect the consolidated results of the operations and financial condition of the company. Post completion of the issue, company's promoters along with their promoters group will continue to collectively hold substantial shareholding, that is 72.92% in the company, which will allow them to influence the outcome of matters submitted to the shareholders for approval. Lakshmi Organic Industries Limited received a good response to its shares in the grey market ahead of the initial public offering. The shares are traded at 100% premium over the issue price on March 8, 2021. As of the 8th March, the grey market premium of the shares are 120 to 125 per share, and on 10th March they are quoted at 80 to 90 per share. From this, we can expect a positive reaction on the listing day. The current sentiment and the IPO market in India have been very positive for all investors over the last 2 quarters. On a closing note, here are the key points to consider before subscribing to the issue. One is, grey market has reacted positively prior to the issue, and from lead manager's point of view, almost 60% of the previous IPOs held by them are oversubscribed and listed at high premiums over the issue price on listing day. And based on the company's financial data, the issue appears averagely priced compared to the industry composite and listed peers. However, considering its long-standing relationship with global customers and plans to shift for high-margin specialty chemicals business, going forward, company might have a bright prospect. We strongly advise you to make proper research before making an significant investment decisions. Investors looking for a long-term bet may consider investing in this IPO. That's it for today, guys. Hope you have learned something new. Another company, Craftsman Automation Limited IPO, is going to hit the market on 15th of this month. So for early updates, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. Thank you.